Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Betty again, owner and creator of Betty's Custom Design here on Etsy, or here on YouTube, and then Etsy, Facebook, and Instagram. So I figured I would just bring you guys along. I am actually working on a design for my sweet mother-in-law. I'm trying to see which one I was working on. I think it's this one. She loves the Art Deco stuff, and she had sent me some photos of some mini books on Facebook, and so I figured I would make her a couple. And so that's what I'm doing, and I am just trying to get that done because I'm actually going to be going over to her house in a little bit to take her some dumplings. So all I'm doing, you guys have seen me do this before. This is the little books that I drew in Good Notes, and then I am just going through and using my clipping mask and clipping down some different images. And so some of these are just, you know, kind of simple images that they're Art Nouveau, but they're very simple images. So it's not going to be a really intricate book this time, because I'm just trying to get this one done so I can get it over to her today whenever I'm going to be going over in a few minutes to take her some dumplings. So I figured I would just at least get one done for her. She has been under the weather lately, so I want to give her something that she can work on and enjoy. And again, I'm just putting it about where I think it would need to be, and then I have to fill everything in with white first, because I keep forgetting to do that. Because if I don't have it filled in with the white, then it has nothing to clip down to. And as you see, when I filled that in with white right there, it actually had some of the design on this. So I am just going to take my eraser on this layer here, and I'm just going to erase the area of that photo that I don't want to be on the cover or on the inside part of the book there. That's all I'm doing. I could have layered it a little bit better, but this works just fine. So that's all I'm doing. So I hope everybody is having a good weekend. I know I am. I just got home from Chuck E. Cheese. I went with 2 of my grandbabies today, and then tomorrow I'll be going with another grandbaby and a couple of my boys. So that will be fun. Okay, and then I got a little bit right here that I don't want. So I want to keep this as clean as possible. And I was working, you saw the other images I have of the design for this, and I'm working on trying to get it cleaned up really good, because when I drew it in Good Notes and then I imported it, the lines are not as crisp as I want them. And so before I actually do any more of them, I will make sure that all of my lines are crisp. And you can see, because it was not very crisp right here, that's why that image adhered to that. So I'm just gonna erase it for right now. And you would never notice that, but because it's me, I noticed it. Alright, so now let's go back to here. Now let's clip that down. Let's hit multiply. And then the same thing, because I did do it where everything has got the color. It does have some of the area, and that's the other thing I'm doing in the other Photoshop template of this. I am actually separating each individual square so that each one will be its own layer, and I can just individually layer the stuff on there. It will just make it a little easier for me, but I am telling you what, it is so time consuming right now. I have been working on it for a solid 2 days, but it's because I am just so particular. Let me actually show you. I think it's this one where I am working in it, and I am going, and you can see how it's got, I don't know if it's this one. This is what I've done, is I went in, see that I get off on rabbit trails. So I fill these in, and as you can see, there's some blank areas there. And so then I go back in and I try to fill those white areas in. But when I do that, it kind of gets into some of the black. So I'm going in and pixel by pixel, I am cleaning it up. And let me tell you, it is a job, because I am so funny about getting it done. And most people would never even realize that it was like this. But because I realize it, I have to fix it. There's nothing I can do. I have to fix it. And see, I've already got started here. You know, I was just going to show y'all the one thing, and here I am off on a little rabbit trail. But that's how my mind works. It's crazy, I know. So this is where, and I'm glad, you know, I know how to do the Photoshop so that I can do this. But for the image that I'm doing for my mother-in-law, I'm not stressed over it, because, you know, like I said, it's not one that I'm selling, and it will be perfectly fine. It actually will give a little bit of look to, it'll give a little bit of personality to the design. And because I've already done this, I'm just like curious to see if this one would look better than the one that I'm actually in. And so how I do it is I get a dark color to do the fill, so that I can make sure that I'm hitting everywhere that I need to hit. Now this one is not the separate layer that I was telling you about, which is fine. I'm just mainly doing this for my own curiosity right now. And I don't know why it did not import as, you know, a crisp background. But it definitely did not. And so I want it to be crisp. I don't want there to be, I want it to be, you know, the black, I want it to be 3 pixels wide and nothing more than that. And I want it uniform all the way around. And so that's why I am having the hard time, and it's taken me so long, is because I am being very picky. And I am literally doing it 1 pixel at a time. And that's what I'm kind of doing right here right now. I'm just wanting to get this to where I can see if it's going to layer better on this one. See how uneven that is? I don't like that. And I think that's my OCD. Well, I know that it's my OCD. But it is what it is with me. I've learned to embrace it. It can be rough sometimes whenever I just, you know, there's times I would love to just get something done and be done with it. But no, the OCD part of me won't let me. You know, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but for whatever reason, the OCD does not let me go past it. So see how I just went off down a rabbit trail? I was doing the thing for my mother-in-law, and then all of a sudden I am now back on this. And maybe this is why it takes me so long, because I do go down rabbit trails quite often. Especially when I'm like looking for images for a design I want to do. Oh my goodness. That is the worst, because I can be perfectly fine looking at stuff, and then I will get in like the Library of Congress site or something, and then that's just it. I am done. I'll be on there for hours. Because once I get on there and I start seeing all of the cool stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta look for this. And then, of course, you know, they suggest things like, if you're interested in this, you may also be interested in this. And it just goes downhill from there. That's normally how it is. Same thing with Amazon or, you know, anything like that. I can be perfectly fine. Just, I need to get one little thing. That's the only thing I go on there for. And then they start suggesting stuff. And, oh, if you're interested in this, you know, or people that bought this item that you're buying also bought this or also viewed this. Please don't show me anymore. No, never mind. Please keep showing me, because I do love it. And so this video may end up being me trying to get this prepared. And look at that. I completely got rid of the lines there. And so I normally, when I'm doing this, I normally work with the hard round, and I work in it in 1 pixel size. And so like this is the 3, and I have it set on clear. So this is the 3 black that I want. So now I'm just going to go along and try and clean up the image. And then maybe I can get my mother-in-law's book done. But I don't know why I do this. And this is the one thing I do enjoy about one of the things I do enjoy about Photoshop is being able to work in it pixel by pixel, because I have so much more control over the images. And just like I said, I don't want there to be any feathering. I want the lines to be very crisp. And so like this, my lines are going to be very crisp with me working on it pixel by pixel. And you don't have to work on it a pixel at the time, but for me, it just it works better for me. being able to do it 1 pixel at a time. And there is a gnat on my iPad. And so I enjoy it. This part here is very tedious, but I have to say this is one of the most relaxing parts to me, because when I am doing an image like this, where I'm just mainly trying to get my lines and I'm working, you know, pixel at a time, it really, there's not a lot of thought process per se. So it's just like coloring almost. Well, it is like coloring. But it is just very relaxing because I'm not having to think about where to put an image, or what image do I want here, or does this go with this, or, you know, there's nothing like that. It's literally, okay, I know which pixels I need to be black, and that's what I'm doing. And so I enjoy this. I mean, like I said, it is very tedious. It does take a long time. But I can tell you, I am so happy and proud when I get to the end and my image looks so good. I'm like, oh yeah, it was worth all of that time. And so this is something that you can do while you're just kind of sitting around watching TV or something. You can, you know, take that time to clean up your images, you know, where you really don't have to have a lot of thought going into it. I mean, you still have to have some thought because you have to pay attention to where your paintbrush is, but it's not like the other, you know, like really thinking hard. So like I said, it's just something I do enjoy doing. It is definitely relaxing. So I hope everybody is having a good weekend. As of this morning, it looks like we are not going to get a lot of really bad weather from Tropical Storm Fred. It might not have been this morning. It might have been last night when I looked, because it had not yet got back into the Gulf. But I believe it was supposed to get into the Gulf today. So once it's in the Gulf, that's when we really have to pay attention, because the Gulf is just so hot. And it is just a breeding ground for the tropical systems. And we really didn't have much of a winter this past year to like cool the Gulf down any. I don't know what the Gulf temperatures are right now, but I mean, definitely mid to upper 80s, I'm sure. Definitely, probably. Listen to that. Isn't that just wonderful? That's some good talking there. Okay, so see how we got that image up there? And then this would be the 3 that I want right here. So you see that lighter gray line at the top? That's the line I'm going to eventually get rid of. And I don't know why I cannot like select and fill in just those colors, but because when I do, it fills in. Let me get back to where I was just then. I hate when it does that. See, I don't know, when I check the selection tool, see how it fills all of that in? And I don't know, I guess that's better than nothing. But there's one that needs to have the 3 drawn. So it looks like maybe these 3? No. See, I can't even see where the line actually is. Maybe those three? See, that's when it gets crazy. Okay, so let me do that. I'm just starting to fill that in just so that I can try and find out where that line is going. Let me see if it'll let me. That might work. It might be easier to take off than to continue adding so much. There's another one. See, I can't even see the line there. This is what happens when you have the OCD like I do. I thought that might have been dark enough that I could have layered it like that, but it wasn't. So I'm just going to go through try and put the lines back. And that's all I'm doing. And here I thought I was going to be making this book, and then I get off on my little rabbit trail, and then it's just like, and I don't understand why I can't just put it up and come back to it. That just makes too much sense, I guess. I don't know. I'm just one of those, when I do something, I want it done right. I don't want to have to do a job. And even though I know that I could come back and finish it up or whatever, it just feels like I'm half doing a job. And I have a hard time doing that. I am very meticulous, very detail oriented. And the fact that, I don't know, I just don't like to feel like I'm cutting any kind of corners. I don't care if it's in my work, my personal life, you know, my business. I want it all to be very, I don't know, I want to be proud of what I do. And if I know that I haven't done my best, then there's absolutely no way I can be proud of it. But if I know that I've done my best, then it's much easier to be proud of it. Because that's what matters. It doesn't matter if I get it perfect or not. What matters is that I've done my best. And that's all that really counts. So that's what I'm doing. I have seen where a few of you guys have posted in our Facebook group and indicated that you have been making digital papers, and some of you have even sold some. And I want to say I am so proud of you guys. That's so wonderful. So absolutely wonderful. And I'm so happy to hear that you guys took the step and decided to try your hand at it. That thrills me beyond belief. And I have had a few more people buy me a coffee, and I will post those names at a later time, but I want to tell you thank you so much. It really does help. You absolutely do not have to pay anything to watch my videos, to join my Facebook group, to join my blog, nothing. I will say that there are times, though, that, you know, the Buy Me a Coffee fund definitely helps, because I really do depend a lot on my Etsy business for my income. And when I am doing the YouTube videos, which I don't mind, and I don't want anybody to think that I am complaining at all, because I am not. But when I'm doing the YouTube videos, it's taken away time that I would be devoting to working on digital orders for my Etsy, or, you know, something like that, that would generate some money. So when you do help out and contribute to the Buy Me a Coffee, it really does help, because it helps take up, you know, some of that slack from income that I'm not able to be generating, because, you know, I'm trying to get this stuff done for you guys. But when I say that, I want to say, don't ever, 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 ever feel like you are obligated to donate money to my Buy Me a Coffee. Because there are times, some people, you just don't have it. I mean, I've been there. I know exactly what that's like. And so don't ever think that you are obligated. You know, if you watch my channel, then you have to donate to Buy Me a Coffee. That is not the case, not in the least. Never has been and never will be. I will never require anything like that. I am very adamant about that, because when I was married to my first husband, you know, we owned a business, and finances were extremely tight. And when I say extremely tight, most people don't have a clue how tight things were. And I remember, you know, seeing people, and, you know, people, things that I would want to do or learn, or even sings or something, you know, at a church that I would want to go to, but I couldn't, because there was a payment required, and I didn't have it. And I can remember how I felt, and I will never, ever, ever, ever. I remember those days too well, and not too well, because that's what made me who I am. I don't ever want to forget how far I've come and how blessed I have been, that I'm able to do this kind of stuff. So, all of that just to say thank you to those that have done the Buy Me a Coffee. Alright, and it is starting to really get late, and so I may have to just go back over there and finish that one up, and then come back and work on this at a later time. Because I really do have to get over there. But it's just so hard once I've been doing it to put it down. Okay, I'm going to make myself stop. And you see, that was so hard for me to do. So hard to do. So let me just go back to layering the stuff in and get this one book done at least, and I can work on all of the little things later. So again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to bring it up, and I am going to try and maybe center this a little bit better. And it's looking like I'm not really going to be able to and get it the way I want it, which is fine. Okay, I'm going to get my eraser. I have it at 5, which is fine. And I'm just going to erase this a little bit, just so it's not so obvious there. And that's That's all I'm doing. Okay, and I do have a little bit over here that overlapped on this image that I need to erase, I think. Maybe it not. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Now let's pull another one in. Let's try and get this done. And I'm just pulling these images. These are some images, I believe I got them off of Raw Pixel, I believe it was. So I am just layering it down to where it's as close to the book as possible. And we will layer that and then hit multiply. And then the same thing, I'm just going to erase on the outside of that line just so it looks better. I probably don't have to do it, but just for the sake of making me feel better, I'm doing it. And I don't know if any of that yet. It looks like some of it got on that, so I'm just taking it off of that second image there. And that's all I'm doing. All right, let's get the next one. And we'll do that one. And it's taken a little bit of time for them to download from my Dropbox because I have not opened them yet after I saved them to Dropbox. So Dropbox is having to download them from the internet or from the web and then open it for me. So again, just doing the same thing. It really isn't that bad. It takes just a couple extra seconds to do it, so it ain't no big deal. And we'll soon be done with this. And then when I get done with this, I will stop this video, and then because I do need to get this out there to her, and then maybe in I don't know if it'll be in the next video, but one within the next few days, I will show you how I put the little mini books together, because I'm probably going to end up doing a series of well, I know I'm going to be doing a series of the mini books, but I may do a series of like the Art Nouveau and Art Deco, maybe even some of the famous painters. So I will be making some books so that I can show the final product in my Etsy store when I list the digital files. And we are getting close. And these images, I love these images. And I had no idea. I'm just going to be honest and say I had no idea what Art Deco was. I have to admit and say that I had to Google it. Because I am just, that's not something I knew. My husband loves Art Deco, Art Nouveau, and he can see a painting and immediately know who painted it, and me, nope, I cannot do that. I'm doing good if I can just recognize it. It's a decent painting. My husband and I, we are like total opposites, because I'm telling you, I am a country bumpkin. I am country. And I speak with such a southern country accent. I ended up with my mother's Georgia accent, even though I have never lived in Georgia. Somehow I ended up with her accent. But my husband, oh my God, I love to hear him talk. And I have told him so many times, and I mean this, I could just sit and listen to him read the newspaper, read the dictionary, anything like that. I love to hear him. I love to hear my husband talk and his voice. It is just amazing to me. And sometimes he'll be talking to me, telling me about something that went on at work, and I ain't even hearing what he's actually saying. I'm just like lost in what he's, lost in him talking. I love it. And then the funny thing is he said he likes to hear me talk. I'm like, what? Okay, I knew something was wrong with you, but what? With my country voice, you like to hear it? Ugh. I hate to hear myself talk. Because I am so country sounding. But I'm not as bad as a couple of my daughters. My first and second daughter, for some reason, I think the second daughter is actually the worst. And I don't know how she got to be so bad. But she is. She is so country. She's the one that can sing so amazing. But she is country, 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 country. And then my oldest daughter, she's not as, her accent, or her country accent is not as bad as my second daughter's. But she talks kind of slower, like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. So I find it funny. Find it very funny. And y'all see I just like went crazy there, but it's because I see this and I don't know why that's there. So I'm just wanting to cover it up. And you know what? It always helps when I'm on the layer that I need to be on. Check that out. Isn't it amazing when you select the correct layer? I thought there was some more yet. Let me reduce the size of that so I can... I just want to cover, I don't know, it was apparently whenever I was doing the background or something, I touched it. Who knows? So let's just keep going, because y'all know I'll be off down another little pig trail. We're almost done. If what's taking the longest right now is just waiting for all of this stuff to download, because I haven't opened it yet. But these are just so beautiful to me. So talking about accents, where how many of you have accents? How many, are from the South? Like Chelle, oh my God, I make so much fun of poor Chelle. The way she says Ruth and root. There was something she said on today's video I got tickled at, and I was going to message her, and I didn't. I'll have to go back and watch the video again and see what it was she said. I don't remember. But I make fun of her. I love it. She says, how am I saying roof bad? And I'm like, roof. I forget how she says it, but it is hilarious. Which I'm sure, it's hilarious to her how I say it. But that's part of it, It would be a boring world if we all sounded alike. Unless everybody sounded like my husband, then that would be amazing. my, it's going crazy. So I'm actually going to continue working on this offline. And what I will do is when I'm done, I will get back on here and show you guys the finished product. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.